Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. So I just wanted to get a little video in, just getting a little footage in for the LR INT GINYU force, sort of discussing about maybe some of their strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, just kind of doing that, talking about like what's good about the GINYU force, what's bad about them. So yellow coin LRs, I think, are kind of... I mean, it's going to be difficult for me to say this, considering they just dropped a yellow coin LR who's, I mean, in Carnival and Dokkan Fest LR territory in Cell Max, but yellow coin LRs with Ginyu and then with Ultimate Gohan's release, very clearly were just made, I think, to be buffs to teams, and specifically to like some of the Dokkan Fest teams that came out during those celebrations, right? So it seems to me as though LR Ginyu right here was just designed fully with the intention to buff Topo. Remember, Topo leads two different teams. You could build it in two completely different ways that are both pretty powerful. You can go down tournament participants and bring in like the UI Goku Evolution Blue Vegeta tree of characters, or we could just go special pose. Now, the Ginyu Force, again, they are very heavily restricted. I mean, you have to be running full Ginyu Force. Or, excuse me, not full Ginyu Force, but full special pose. Actually, speaking about the Ginyu Force category, which this is the Ginyu Force link right here, unfortunately, I have bad news. The Ginyu Force is entirely irrelevant, essentially, in Supreme Battle Spectacle level content. Raccoon and Gold are just not good enough anymore. Birder and Jace we could get away with, but only because they're dodge. It's their dodge or die, and, you know, a normal is doing 600k to them type shit, right? Like, they're just true dodge or die. EGL Ginyu, it's way past his prime, way past his time. So, honestly, I mean, I think you can make the case that the Ginyu Force is just not, like, a good release. They probably should not have made them exclusive to only special pose, whilst simultaneously not giving them a single Ginyu Force character who could be usable. If in 2024, we get maybe Goku Ginyu, who has never gotten a standalone unit besides this SR right here. If we got a Dokkan Fest standalone Goku Ginyu, I think it would make a little bit more sense. You know, but we would see. And there is, you would say, well, why wouldn't this Ginyu Force be the part 2? Well, there is a time slot still to come this year at the end of July, which does not have a part 2 LR. I think Goku Ginyu as end of July Dokkan Fest could work. I think so. All right, let's just get a rotation in. Oh, so here's one thing about the LR Ginyu Force. They have this mechanic with their super attacks, their super attacks right here, right? So the 12 key super attack is either Goldo or Raccoon. No matter what, they're giving you 50% defense, and then they have, I believe, a high chance to stun the enemy. Or no, it's... Wait, is it a guaranteed stun that they have, that Goldo has? A guaranteed 1-turn stun is what it might be. It's been a little while since I've used the Ginyu Force, right? Because I think it might be... I'm just double checking that. It's... Yeah, I think it's a 1-turn stun on the 12 key super attack, right? So we have that. Then the 15 key super attack. Okay, I'm getting all mixed up. Goldo, right, is the first super you get with 12 key. Then you have a 50% chance that you get Raccoon as well. If you get Raccoon, the 12 key super attack will give you 50% attack and 50% defense. If it's just Goldo, you're just going to get 50% defense. If you get a 15 key super attack, which is very difficult to do with this character, I'll go over why in 2 seconds, you get a 50% chance it's Jace, who gives you a 50% attack stack, and then a 50% chance you get Birder, who gives you a 50% attack and a 50% defensive stack. Now, this character can be very good if you're able to get quite a few defensive stacks with Birder. It's very, very difficult to do so, though, because if we take a look on this rotation right here, it is impossible for us to even get the 15 key stack, right? The reason for this is the special pose link right here, which gives 3 key and 7% attack. With this, it's just not possible. I mean, we also do have a lot of support, but I mean, the special pose team is drenched with these support characters, right? It's designed in such a way to make the team a little bit better. This is actually, funnily enough, where Super Easy A Gotenks, I think, comes into the mix. Because this character, by the way, in Gotenks, also, in base form, has special pose, right? So he doesn't work for what I'm talking about. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, though, I've found you could put him next to the Ginyu Force, and you could easily get both of the key mechanics you want to for both of them, and it's not really an issue, right? Because what happens is, at the start of the fight, when you would want to potentially get the stack with INT Gotenks, you know, INT Gotenks is not allowing you to. And then once you're deep in the fight, you don't want to toy around with the Ginyu Force not getting their 18 key super anyway. So it's really only a beginning of the battle type thing. Now, in terms of their abilities here, it is very important with the Ginyu Force that you get a Rainbow Orb. Because if you get a Rainbow Orb, you're going to give Special Pose category allies 25% attack and defense for 2 turns. And then if you get a Type Orb that's not INT, they get 50% attack and defense within the same turn. So you want to specifically avoid INT Orbs because it will not give them their buff. The Special Pose support can be activated with a Rainbow Orb or an INT Orb, but they're going to be at their best if we would get like this right here. So let's see, our defense, we're at 395k. Let's hit that right there, and that will jump us up to 435k. Now, their intro, right, which you could do with 5 Special Pose category allies on the team, which means you do have one spot you don't have to run a Special Pose character, but the Ginyu Force is only, they guard and are super effective against all types if all allies in the same rotation are Special Pose. So I guess we could run like AGL UI Goku or in Evolution Blue Vegeta and then just make sure they're on the opposite rotation to the Ginyu Force, and I guess that could work. Ginyu Force, they do get damage reduction and crit chance per Special Pose category ally in the team, which I guess if we're running AGL UI or in Evolution Blue Vegeta, well, I guess it is only up to 5, so we could, yeah, we really could. You could run like one of the two on the opposite rotation. Definitely something that we could do, right? All right, so let's just let this turn play out. Let's see kind of like the damage and stuff like that they get. But as part of their intro, they get 3 key, 150% attack and defense, and a guaranteed additional super for the rest of the fight. It's a permanent buff. We dodge it. Nice. Yeah, you want to go full dodge build for this character, obviously. I don't think like that's what you're going to want to do there. Then they give, as part of their intro, they give all allies 25% attack and defense for 3 turns. So you have that up for 3 turns, and it's intended that that should be able to get you, right, to the point where you're going to be able to get the, whatchamacallit, you're going to have that for 2 turns to get you closer to their active skill. The Ginyu Force have one of the better active skills in the game. Now, the thing about it is that the Ginyu Force do have the unfortunate start of turn nonsense. So we got pretty lucky. You know, we just jumped in and they were in turn 1. That's very good for us. Means we'll have their active on turn 5. But it is very, very easy that we could just not, you know, like Ginyu Force are in like slot 7, and then we maybe just don't even get their active skill. Like, it's that start of turn nonsense is so bad for the characters that have it. It really is. Alright, so we're on our next turn with the Gotenks Force. Here is where, you know, next to the Ginyu Force here, let's just do the Gamma standby, but I think we will just go ahead and skip the animation right there. Alright, so again, I found that it's relatively easy, usually, to be able to navigate around the Ginyu Force and a Gotenks. Now, the thing that can be difficult about getting the stack, or trying to get the stack for the Ginyu Force, is Ki is typically really bad. But with Gotenks, we're able to get the multiple turn support and the... you guys see what I'm talking about? We're able to get the multiple turn support and the individual stats for the Ginyu Force while just hitting this. Now, their 18 key is a monster. You know, they get, I think it's what, 100% attack and defense. They massively get stats, so it's 100% attack and defense for 1 turn. Meg Colossal damage to the enemy. And then they give allies 30% attack and defense for 1 turn. So when we get to the end with the nasty faces of the bosses, yeah, and by the way, look, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's magic or what, but I just, for whatever reason, this Ginyu and Gotenks shit just really works well. It just does. It does. This is another reason why I was so adamant that they needed to release Super Saiyan 3 Tech Gotenks with the Ginyu Force. On Global, I was speaking from experience of seeing how effective the two of them are together. But yeah, the 18 key is super good. When we get to the big phases of the boss, there's no more dicking around trying to get the stack. It's for this. So remember, we have a 50% chance to get Birder. You could see who wins it. Birder lost. That's Chase. Yeah. Damn. So, it's pointless. That gives us, they stack, so they'll have a little bit of permanent extra damage, but the permanent extra damage really is not going to make a big difference with this character. It's not. It's the defense actually, wow, no crit, huh? Okay. The defense actually makes a significant difference, though, for the Ginyu Force, right? Because remember, they're a character who is guarding, and then they have the 35% damage reduction before attacking. So a lot of times we could get them in slot 1, even against big bosses, and then, you know, if they do their 18 key super attack in slot 1, then they're giving 30% defense to the entire rotation, along with potentially their active skill support, their 2-turn support, and very quickly you see how they just change, like, the whole environment for the special pose team. They're a great character, but it's just, I mean, there is a lot of quirks to it. I mean, do I hate them or anything like that? Definitely not. All right, we'll just go ahead and get rid of this Goku, and we'll move on to our next rotation and see how things are going to go. Remember, we're in Supreme Battle Spectacle UI Goku right here. Once we get to UI Sign Goku, the tech phase, the next phase we're going to get to, that's where things begin to get a little bit more, like, UI Goku is able to crush. So we do have to respect once we get to UI Goku. We could probably do another attempt at going for the stack if we're able to. We do want to respect Tech UI Goku, but, you know, we don't have a character on the team who's like a complete zero. Like, even all of them in slot 3 will be able to hold their own against these bosses. So if we can aim for a stack right here. I think we can. And we have the Ginyu Forces active as well. There's no reason not to use God Topo. Yeah, wow, we've got that. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and use God Topo right here, and we're going to use the Ginyu Force. So the Ginyu Force active is, again, one of the best actives in the game. Let's just quickly take a look at this. So what the Ginyu Force active does is we could do this if all allies are Ginyu Force from the 3rd turn, which is, like, not going to happen really, or if all allies are special pose on rotation, then we could do it from turn 5, right? This gives a permanent 25% attack and defensive buff to their stats, and a permanent 15% attack and defensive buff to all allies' stats. So it is a really good active.
正義はいらん。覚悟は決めた。
Alright, so with that up, we're going to get massive stats. Yeah, and by the way, that's not rotation. That you need to have the full team, right? The full team has to be special pose. Doesn't matter about rotation. Okay. So now we'll be able to pop this. Oh, actually, we're... Yeah, here, let's hit that. Yeah, that'll get us our 15 key right there. Dude, I almost... When I'm using this rotation... I feel like I'm almost apologizing so often because it's like I feel like this, I just have perfect RNG like every time. I don't know. I just have perfect RNG every single time with this. With this rotation, man. It's a real thing. I can't explain. I'm sorry. All I can do is apologize. I don't know. I have no clue. Throughout most of this run, by the way, we've had basically no links activated. This is a Supreme Battle Spectacle ready lineup we're using here. Jace 1 again. Yep, pointless. Only a little bit of extra damage, but not the defensive stack. Yeah, a shame, a shame. That's another reason why, you know, people, like, were crying so hard. Gotta go for the stack, gotta go for the stack. I mean, it's, you know, there's RNG involved with it. Now, if you do, like, if you would get 2 birder stacks, it is a huge, like, it's not like, oh, it doesn't even do that much. No, it does. It's a monster amount of defense that they get, but it's just not a guaranteed thing. You bastard. This guy's done a couple of cheeky slot 3 supers, but yeah, guess what? You clown. That's what happens. Oh, goodbye, Goku. Think the Goatmas are probably just going to finish off right here. Let's just drop them. Oh, we could do Topo as well. Sure. Let's do Topo. We'll get our guaranteed crits right there. Sure. And then we will drop the Goatmas. Kind of a shame that the Goatmas don't have a, whatchamacallit. They don't have, like, a special KO screen or something like that. 31. Nice. All right, cool. So we got that done. All right, so now we're against EGL UI Goku. Again, we definitely do not want to clown around here at this point with any non-18 key. Oh, well. Okay. Sure. Well, whatever. I guess we are. Let's go Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks right here. Tech Gotenk's not going to be able to get his, whatchamacallit, but it's fine. All right, now, UI Goku is a boss that's going to... What is the... Exactly is my build here? 30? Yeah, it looks good. Silver equip is 3 additional 4 dodge. Gold equip, 4 additional 5 dodge. Bronze equip, 2 additional 1 dodge. Yeah, it looks good. I would heavily encourage players to do a build just like this. I know how people are. They're, you know, not very good at, you know, doing their builds for characters, but Ginyu Force is not a character you want to get away without doing dodge. All right, let's take a look. This is like a 2.2 million super, something like that. All right. I mean, that's reasonable. We could deal with that. Keep in mind we have the active skill buff up. You know, we have their support buff up. So I feel like I haven't... One thing when it comes to doing a showcase for support characters like this, I should have been pointing out way more often throughout the video that, like... Okay, they took a lot of damage there. Damn, okay. That one reason they took so much damage, though, is because, you know, UI sealed... Oh, 20 million by INT Gotenks? Okay. Remember, the Ginyu support is insane for INT Gotenks right now. Yeah, okay. I haven't done a good enough job during this video of bringing to attention how much higher the stats are for all the other characters because of the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force was massively increasing the stats for all the other characters on the team, right? Which is it's a huge part of their kit. And the Ginyu Force, they're not just supporting their rotation, but the Ginyu Force support is activated right now on this turn as well. So the Topo rotation we've got going right here, they're all also getting buffed by the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force is very good. But, I mean, there are some limitations, some things that can go unfortunate. All right, so UI Goku is sealing us a lot today. I mean, understand this is a big thing with Supreme Battle Spectacle. If the boss is Super U in slot 1, they do this, right? And it's, you know, you could have 100% chance to crit and 100% chance to do 70 guaranteed additional supers. And when they're sealing you and stunning you, well, that shit just doesn't matter anymore, does it? Do we need to do another run? I feel like no, we did cover everything they do. I mean, we did see their 18 key. You know, remember they do give the nice support buff for the rotation. You know, we did see... I guess we didn't get a birder stack in the video, though. I probably should at least show birder in the video. Let me just get a birder stack in the video, and we'll finish up. Ginyu Force are very good. Not really like a top 10 LR contender, but they do really make special pose a lot better. I guess the only thing that's kind of a negative, though, is that, like, Topo's team... Like, if you're... Like, if, okay, like, we have to win with Topo's team or the aliens blow up the planet, like, I wouldn't do full special pose. I would be bringing UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta and probably Kefla, and I would lean more into those types of characters if, like, no matter, I literally have one run to save the planet. Unfortunately, I probably wouldn't use the Ginyu Force unless I had to use specifically special pose, right? Again, let's just do a run where we get Birder in here, and we can finish up. All right, guys, let's see if we can get some good luck right here. So this will get us our 15-key super attack. Again, I just want to show the animation with Birder. One thing I do like about the Ginyu Force's super attacks, which are pretty fun, is obviously you can see who wins rock, paper, scissors. Let's see. It was damn Jace again, dude. Oh, my God. All right. Well, that's 3 consecutive Jace supers. Let's just keep going until we get Birder. All right, gamers. We're getting the Birder stack, like, for sure this time. Do you guys think it's really for sure? Dude, Birder has been sucking ass at rock, paper, scissors today. There it is. There he is. That's what you want to see. Birder shows up. I mean, that stack, I mean, I'm pretty sure it gives Ginyu like an extra 100k start of turn defense or something like that. Like, it's a pretty sizable buff, getting that Birder stack in. Let me just get to this next rotation. Let's pop the Ginyu Force active, right? So we'll throw that down, get the extra increase in stats, and then let's just go ahead and take a look at what their start of turn defense is looking like. Let's give Zerloin, Rabanra, and Zarbudo. Yeah, you guys like that? I remember that name. Yep, it's Zerloin, Rabanra, and Zarbudo. I got him. Bro, 5 other Dokkan players who know that character's name. Go. You didn't know. Zerloin, Zarbudo, and Rabanra. That's it. That's it. Boom. You learned something today. They didn't even kill? Dude, this is a Dokkan event from 2018. I guess, I mean, I'd have to, we probably don't have, I'd have to double check their path. I do not have them memorized. Let me just double check let me double check. Bro, come on, it's 2018 UI Goku, we can't take him down? Bro. Zerloin, Rabanra, what's going down, man? Alright, let's see. So, oh, yeah, because they get a lot of stats per power wishes or tournament participant category allies on the team. Yeah, and then they get the extra stats and a guaranteed additional. When performing a super, if there's another power wishes category ally in the team. Yeah. Why wouldn't that character be good for special pose, too? It doesn't make any sense. Alright, whatever. Okay, so let's throw down the Ginyu Force active right here. Wabam. So we throw that down. So we get the big increase in stats. Nice, okay. So we're at, yeah, dude, look. 637, let's hit this. Like, we could see how much higher they're, like, the Birder stack does legitimately make this character way better, but it's just very tough to get it because, number one, a lot of times it can be hard to even get 15 key, and then you then have to get a 50-50 coin flip to go your way. But yeah, I mean, the Birder stack, of course, again, does work very well. So let me know what you guys think of the LR Ginyu Force now on Global Dokkan here. They are definitely a very effective character. You don't want to sleep on them, but they're also one of the worst characters a global player could summon on ever. Ever. Do not summon. Pull them later on. You know, hopefully like a Goku Ginyu will show up later this year or something like that. That could really help this character out. We'll see what's going to happen later this year for the LR Ginyu Force.